Events take us back 2 years. Chaos reigns in Seoul. Knights combat demons in a grand and epic showdown. Suddenly, Nidok emerges at the epicenter of it all. Overwhelmed by hunger, she sensed potential prey nearby. She transformed into a dragon, soon becoming the city's gravest threat. However, Nidok wasn't the only entity causing ripples in Seoul. Another predator lurked, 100 times more powerful than her. For the first time, Nidok felt something unfamiliar, fear. The fear of not knowing if she'd be caught. This dominant predator was Sua. Yet, in her personal restaurant, she was far from a threat. This Nidok realized. In Sua's establishment, Nidok wasn't on the menu. Nidok announced her intent to dine and assured she had ample funds to cover her meal. Suddenly, she belched, revealing something extraordinary: spatial minerals. These minerals, discovered after the city's dimensional boundaries faded, contained vast energy and were invaluable. The minerals Nidok brought could cover the restaurant's rent for an entire year. However, unless Nidok dined on soup made from her tail, no one would get any minerals. Sua contended that it's impossible, as she'd used up all the soup ingredients over the past 2 years. Curiously, Sua inquired why Nidok was so keen on this soup. Nidok confessed that her tail held immense power, which she lost primarily because of Sua. To retrieve it, she ventured into the dimensional rift where a different world with powerful beings existed. For 2 years, Nidok hunted and consumed these beings. Yet, no matter how much she feasted, her strength remained elusive. However, she recently sensed energy in the city, pinpointing its source to Sua's world restaurant. She believed the soup could restore her might. While Sua acknowledged using up all ingredients long ago, Nidok remained adamant, insisting her strength resided somewhere within the restaurant. Suddenly, Balaval commented on the strong dragon scent. Moments later, he was thrust outside, confronted by an odd figure. As the streets filled with onlookers questioning the stranger's identity, a rift opened. More dragons began to swarm towards the restaurant. The enigmatic individual declared the city as his own, warning of the catastrophic union between the Demon King and the real Nidok. Sua reassured Nidok that her minerals would suffice for the restaurant's lease, promising her desired soup. Today's menu would solely feature Nidok. Memories of a haunting nightmare from 2 years prior flooded back to Nidok. Sua launches into battle with the dragon. With a swift slash of her knife, she slices its throat. Time passes, and soon, all the dragons lie defeated, their heads severed. Sua, a bit puzzled, remarks she doesn't know where they came from, but there's now an abundance of Nidok meat. Enough to feed an entire city. Mini Nidok interjects, insisting that not all have been defeated, there's still one left. Taking the form of a grown girl, the older Nidok greatly resembles the younger. Mini Nidok comments on how appetizing the older one looks and lunges at her. With agile movement, the elder Nidok dodges and slams the younger one into the ground. A figure, akin to an evil genius, states that he almost had them. But it's time to end this. As the elder Nidok moves in for the kill, Balaval intervenes, claiming he had his designs on her too. A palm strike intended for the elder misses, as she captures Balaval by the leg using her tail, causing him to crash to the ground. The sinister genius, now revealed to be a woman, insists that it's their turn to strike, and the elder Nidok is suddenly close to Sua. She tells the elder Nidok to finish it off without hesitation. Sua never imagined that the world's first dish would be the very soup made from a Nidok's tail. The woman had created them all using stolen meat from a Nidok's tail. She had undergone numerous genetic modifications, and this girl was her finest creation, into which she poured her heart. The dish Sua always prepared with love is now about to end her life. Meanwhile, in the Kanom Protectorate of the Holy Knights, an evacuation is underway. Through loudspeakers, citizens are urged to move to the citadel. In the queue, Kim T-Rai and Kadal discuss, baffled about what has transpired and why they need to seek shelter. Kadal informs T-Rai that the homeless reported spotting Nidok near the Mapo district. Since this is a global threat, shelter won't make a difference. Regardless, they shouldn't expect much help from the Knights this time, so there's no need to panic. Lancelot realizes that if not one, but a horde of Nidoks were sighted near the restaurant, even Madame Sua is in danger. Suddenly, an explosion occurs, and something crashes onto the road. Lancelot orders the Knights to protect the citizens, while the rest follow him to the crash site. At the site, Lancelot and the Knights find the elder Nidok. Lancelot commands the Knights to attack, but Sua emerges, having clung to the Nidok's tail, arriving alongside. In jest, Sua tells Lancelot not to deprive her of her ingredients, for the solid tail casing is free of fat and bones, ensuring a delicious soup. As Nidok moves to attack Sua, she deflects its advance with her knife. Ascending into the air for a final blow, Sua warns the Knights to stay out of it, declaring them her ingredients. Sua slices off Nidok's tail, readying it to be marinated for a soup. Meanwhile, outside the restaurant, a mysterious woman scans Sua, her anger apparent. Stamping the ground, demonic animals rise at her behest. She commands them to deal with Balaval and Nidok. The creatures attack, but a droplet of saliva revives an unconscious Nidok, and Balaval awakens from the stench emanating from it. Nidok groggily asks if they can eat the creatures, to which Balaval agrees. On the streets, Lancelot thanks Sua and stresses the importance of dealing with Nidok, a walking disaster for the city. As Sua brandishes her sword, a cyclopean monster emerges from beneath the earth, snatching the defeated Nidok. Hovering above, the woman from the restaurant declares she won't allow her creation to be killed so easily. Challenging Sua's identity, she gets a reciprocal query from Sua. With neither willing to divulge, the woman remarks that while Sua toils in her diner, their clash is inevitable. She vanishes. Distracted by the turn of events, Sua suddenly remembers her booked dinner service and seeks Leansley's assistance in transporting the tale. By the restaurant, Balaval and Nidok are seen lounging amidst the carcasses of the dispatched creatures. Their job well done. Suddenly, Red appears. Part of the Ranger Division tasked with the capital's defense in the Republic of Korea, his whereabouts remain a mystery. He inquires about Sua's location. Without warning, another character, Ars, makes his entrance. Ars, the king of the Arsleon realm from the magical world Asipia, resides in the Ch Handam-dong fortress. He's personally come to express his gratitude to Sua for handling Nidok. Another stranger, Saval, a nine-tailed fox and the apex predator from the wild world of Tajan, emerges. She resides in the Gildan Eco Park. And then comes Rio, the chief engineer from the realm of technology, whose residence is the Electronics Mall in Yonsan. All of them are dimension leaders or rulers of their respective realms present in Seoul. They've gathered for a peaceful dinner, asking Balaval to escort them to the VIP seating. Saval and Ars are upset, for leaving such individuals discarded on the street is a sign that Sua should have trained her employees better. Rio urges patience, noting that this is the only place to dine peacefully. Balaval, in a quandary, wonders where to find VIP seating in such a battle-scarred restaurant. As he begins his search and opens a door, he is greeted by Sua and Lancelet, who have just arrived. On the restaurant's rooftop, designated as the VIP area, the guests settle down. Sua and Balaval grill kebabs. Sua steps away to oversee the soup preparation, leaving Balaval in charge of the grilling. The Dimension leaders mock him, saying that a former Demon King would have already scorched everything in sight, yet here he is, grilling meat for guests. Balaval is displeased. Meanwhile, Sua and Lancelet prepare the soup. Sua comments on its rich consistency and requests Lancelet to act as a server for the evening. In an apron, he appears out of place, now empathizing with Balaval. Once the food is served, Sua invites everyone to dig in. Nidok is ravenous and eagerly reaches for the tail, but Madame Saval, using chopsticks, stops her hand. Saval reveals to Sua that all the Dimension leaders are aware of her intentions. As leaders, they cannot allow Nidok's power to return. They propose a deal. Ars offers treasures from his kingdom and magical ingredients. Rio offers a kitchen upgrade with the latest technology. Saval offers high-quality ingredients, and Red promises to provide the finest spirits from a secret location, all delivered to the restaurant for free. All these offers are on the table if Sua kills Nidok. Daily, intense battles rage throughout the city, each individual fighting for their survival. Nidok is an impending disaster threatening everyone. She might seem calm now, but there's no assurance that she won't return to her destructive ways, reminiscent of the chaos from 2 years prior. Everyone agrees she must be dealt with for the greater good, a sentiment shared by Lancelet and Balaval. Nidok interjects, stating she is merely a customer wishing to eat, after which she will disappear forever. Sua cuts her off, wishing everyone bon appetit. The group is stunned, but Sua has her own proposal. The Han River, ominously termed the River of Death, emits a chilling glow from its depths, a result of the spatial rift in the Uedo district and the miasma seeping from it. Consequently, the city faces a water crisis. Nidok is the only one capable of entering this spatial rift. The restaurant's special deals price. The city's peace. Several days ago, at the Hangaram River Water Purification Center, South Korea had relied on a water canal for purification. However, after several dimensions merged, the system broke down. To preserve other water sources, Dimension leaders reconstructed it. This location, much like the World Restaurant, was deemed the safest in the city. Given its vital importance, several strong individuals from each dimension were chosen to guard the facility. This center is a blend of multidimensional magic and scientific technology. The Han River is purified using unique methods called magical engineering and is distributed to various city districts. Polluted water cannot be supplied to residential areas. We're introduced to Eris, the director of the Water Purification Center. She's a renowned expert in purifying magical engineering. There were instances where individuals turned into monsters after consuming even a small amount of water. However, the miasmas emanating from the rift are becoming stronger. Hera states that under such conditions, they must work tirelessly. The center's staff responds that even at their current pace, purifying the water becomes impossible. Eris warns that with the current water reserves, the city won't last a month. Without a solution, they die of thirst. Meanwhile, on the restaurant's rooftop, everyone discusses Eris's water purification report. Sending Nidok to purify the water seems like an efficient solution, but her observed abilities are destructive and not related to purification. Ars questions Nidok about her plan to cleanse the water. Nidok explains she was born in a space between the cracks of dimensions, making her not just an entity, but an interdimensional dragon. She can traverse worlds within the rifts. The colossal spatial entity contaminating the Edo Rift's miasmas in the river water is her target. Therefore, Nidok intends to capture it. Sua urges everyone to head to the rift quickly, but Rio says there's more information to consider. All have gathered to discuss the mysterious stranger with the fake Nidok. Initially, it seemed the fake dragon was kin of the real one and was brought along. But after analysis, they realize when the fake Nidok was almost captured, she called it her creation. Considering the information gathered, it's inferred someone cloned the real Nidok and modified it. Given the attack on the restaurant, their intentions seem malicious. There's only one way to prove Nidok's safety. They all head to the river. Standing at the rift, Nidok remarks that an ordinary creature can't feel its immense power. It's something beyond comprehension. As Nidok heads into the rift, Sua warns her to tread carefully, promising that upon her return, she'll treat her to whatever she desires. Taking the leap into the rift, the deeper Nidok goes, the more obscure the surroundings become. This is the dimensional rift, her birthplace. Back on the shore, Balaval could sense Nidok until a point when her scent vanished into thin air. At that moment, he turns to Sua, questioning if there's anything she isn't capable of handling. As Sua tries to answer, Balaval anticipates a revelation of her vulnerability. But things take a surprising turn when Sua confesses she simply can't swim. Meanwhile, inside the rift, Nidok encounters its master. She brandishes her tail, ready to consume him.